Welcome to the Life, Love, Everything podcast. I am your host, Tasmin Bota. So, in this week's episode, I wanted to speak about how being a mother is an identity evolution. Now, as you guys know, I am a mom of three. And I actually never ever really sat down and thought about how with each child a new version of you is born, because it's not only a baby that is born, it's a mother that is born as well. And when I saw this particular topic, I was like kind of mind blown, to be quite honest with you, because like I said, it was something that I have never actually thought about. And as I sat and I marinated over it, I was like, this is so true. This is why that when you become a mom, you can actually never ever go back to being the person you were before. And I think a lot of the time society forces us to want to go back to being that person. Society has made it so that the second you give birth, you need to bounce back, have the perfect body, go back to work, be able to juggle it all. And guys, that is actually not the way that it's supposed to be. It's not the way that it works, in all honesty. Firstly, when you think about the whole process of having a child, of being pregnant, right? That process in itself, those 40 weeks, which essentially is actually 10 months, not 9, like we all say, those 40 weeks, so much is happening with you physically, emotionally, and then going through the process of giving birth, whatever that looks like, whether you're having natural birth, whether you're having a cesarean section, whether you are having it medicated, unmedicated. I mean, that in itself is a conversation as well. And then immediately after going through a physically, emotionally life altering event that is giving birth, you are immediately expected to take care of another person. I think each of my birthing experiences have been different, although all of them resulted in emergency C-sections. One of them resulted in a premature, extremely premature baby. Actually, in actual fact, two of my children are premature, um, both my first and second children. But my first child was born at 37 weeks without any complications. So he had no NICU stay. 36 weeks, sorry, with no NICU stay. And then obviously my middle son was born extremely premature and had a almost 2-month NICU stay. And then my number three was a full term, healthy baby. But each birth came with its own set of, I don't want to say complications, but its own set of feelings, its own set of things that were going on. Um, I think it was obviously easier the first time because you actually didn't know what to expect. But the fact that I was mentally prepared to give birth naturally and then all of a sudden had to have an emergency C-section, which no one ever told me was a possibility. I was definitely not mentally prepared for it. And oh my goodness, the physicality of having a C-section is something else. And in all honesty, I don't think it was until my second child that I actually realized how complicated a cesarean section is, and that it is actual surgery where they are cutting 7 layers of your body to birth your baby and then stitching you back up together. And then again, you're expected to take care of a child immediately. With one and two, obviously, one and two, I did not have to take care of my children immediately. I don't know if that was a good or bad thing. But with number three, he was brought to me not too long after I was wheeled out of recovery, which was new, obviously, for me. And yeah, I was expected to take care of him. I mean, at that time, you can't even sit up or move or anything, because you've been given an epidural. You're expected to lay there for 6 hours after birth while taking care of another human being. And as moms, as women, we don't actually give ourself self enough props, enough thanks for the amount of work, sacrifice it takes just to get through that process, the pregnancy process and the birthing process. And then you having to take care of a whole nother human being while still trying to heal yourself, trying to take care of yourself, trying to navigate this new normal. And it is so amazing, mind boggling, that we are just expected to pick up and continue as if this phenomena has not just happened. Um, I think giving birth, no matter how you birth your baby, is one of life's most amazing feats, but we easily forget how dangerous giving birth can be. I was very privileged to very recently have given a talk at a World Health Organization webinar that spoke to maternal and newborn health. And it reminded me yet again that we take for granted, number one, that we can give birth, that we do give birth, but that giving birth is also a very scary and sometimes very dangerous thing. Many, 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 many moms die during childbirth. Unfortunately, many babies die during childbirth. And yet, we expect mothers to pick up and carry on as if this huge event did not just happen. And I love what social media has done. Social media has opened up doors, it has given insight, it has given a voice to women to talk about how hard being a parent is, how hard birthing a child is, and how much you as an individual lose yourself and get lost in this whole process. And speaking from my own personal experience, um, being a mother of three, having three new versions of myself be born, um, while still trying to not lose myself in it all, has turned out to be quite the feat. And not forgetting that at the end of the day, you are a partner as well. I am a whole wife. And obviously my husband requires me to show up for him, for us, for our marriage. And a lot of times it has been such a juggling act, especially in those early years. Oh my goodness. I was definitely lost and drowned. I drowned in motherhood for a very, very long time without realizing it, right? Because we are so very much go, 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 go all the time. And me, as a person, that is just me. I need to, my cup needeth, no, my plate needeth to be overflowing with stuff to do. That is literally the only way that I know how to function. And a very good friend of mine recently told me that I need to relearn how to just be without having to do anything, without having a million and three things to juggle and people to juggle and schedules to juggle. And on those very rare occasions where I don't do anything, my mind is still going a million miles an hour at all the things that I could possibly doing, or all the things that I still have to do, or planning in my mind, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be doing da 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 da, or in the next few hours I'm going to be doing da 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 da, which is so totally crazy. But I feel like I'm in a new season now with having all my boys be in school. I feel like it's given me now a little bit more freedom to be me and to focus on the things that I love and to fill up my cup. Although I must be honest, I'm still filling up those hours with work related stuff. But part of it, part of the working stuff that I do, like the nonprofit organization, it's a passion of mine, and so it's not so much work for me, which I love that I'm now able to focus a little bit more back on it because, yeah, in my little season of trying to be a full-time working mother. Was it full-time? It wasn't full-time. It was, well, full-time temporary working mom. I don't know how we want to say. Yeah, that was a lot to juggle. And so now we're on a new transition again. And yeah, it's early days, but I'm still trying to find my footing, but I'm excited. I'm excited for this new me. This new me that is not totally engulfed in motherhood. And it's okay, guys. It's okay to want to have some time for yourself, some space for yourself. It's actually something that my husband and I spoke about recently. I've been actually telling him this for a while, that our whole lives cannot be work and kids. It just cannot be. Like, us as humans, we weren't designed to only focus on that. Like, we need to find some hobbies. I even said to him, I'm like, find a hobby. Like, I don't know, go play golf, go do squash, something. But we need to find something outside of me and him, outside of the kids and outside of work, which has for a long time just, that's all that we've been doing. And we understood, like, that was the season that we were in, and it was okay for that while, but it was never ever meant to be a forever thing. So I think even with dads, when you become a father, a new version of yourself is born. And I think, our role as parents, we take it extremely seriously because we know that we are raising the next generation. We are raising somebody's husband, somebody's father. So, we take that very, very seriously. But through it all, I don't want us to forget ourselves. I don't want us to forget each other. I don't want us to forget ourselves. And so now we are getting to learn this new version of ourselves. Parents of three boys who are three different phases of their lives as well, which is so crazy because for each boy you need to show up differently, which at times can be a lot, while you've got your own stuff going on, still needing to be the parent that they require. Yeah, it can be a lot at times. And you know i'm not taking I'm not taking for granted the assignment that God has called me, because He specifically chose me to be these boys' parents. And like I said, I take that role very seriously. Um, and I love the fact that I am now finally, and I think also it comes with age, guys. Obviously, age and experience make us feel and experience things differently. So when I was a young mother, I was just going through the motions because you've got this young baby, you young yourself, you don't actually really know what you're doing, and you're just trying to make it. And you're trying to make sure that you provide financially for this child. So for a, the way God has positioned life for me or changed things in my life, He has done it in a way so that for this very big, important role that He has called me for, He has made me be more available. So in the early years, I mean, I was just work, 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 work. My husband had to be the one that was showing up. I even started to think that the people that he works for must probably think his wife is a unicorn, because whenever the kid was sick, he was the one that was running to go pick the kid up for school. He was the one that was taking him to doctor's appointments. And obviously God did what he needed to do, because he saw that the place where I was working was not a place designed for families. And so when I became a parent, they still expected me to operate like someone who didn't have children. And, you know, ever since I left that job, I made a promise to myself that I would never sacrifice my children for a paycheck, meaning that a job is never ever going to be more important than my children. And I'm so proud of myself for standing firm in that. But also, I've come to realize that there are actually companies out there that value parents and that value family life, and, you know, are not going to side eye you when for the 10th time that month somebody's sick or somebody has something going on. I mean, the more children you have, the more responsibilities there are. And, you know, I was very blessed to have found a company that understood that. But it's also very hard. You can't ever turn off from being a parent, right? So whether you are in a boardroom giving this huge presentation, or you are just at home um, being a stay-at-home mom, or whatever the circumstances are, when you are a parent, it kind of sort of becomes a very, I don't want to say your whole identity, but definitely a very big part of your identity and of who you are and of how you move and what you do. So I might be, and typical of what will happen to me when I'm busy doing any presentations or any meetings. Best believe I actually shared it not so long ago when I did do that webinar, sitting all dolled up, sitting in front of the camera, ready to say my say. And the behind the scenes, the reality of the situation was I had my 5-year-old standing here next to me telling me that he needs to use the bathroom. Then after going to the bathroom, maybe 10-15 minutes later, oh mom, I need some grapes. And this is the reality of being a parent, right? And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I'm watching the clock because, oh my gosh, another child needs to be picked up from school. So when you are a parent, you can't actually ever turn it off. And I thought that, you know, okay, 18 years of that, only to realize that no, it's going to be a lifetime of that. Because no matter how grown your children are, no matter where in the world they are, they're always going to be your kids and you're always going to be their parent. But like I said, I'm enjoying the evolution. I finally understand that I'm never ever gonna be Tasmin pre-kids. I'm never gonna be Tasmin who had one child. I'm never gonna be Tasmin who had 2 kids. I am Tasmin, mom of 3, and that's okay. It's okay that those versions of me before kids, first kid, second kid, those versions, they existed, and I love that they existed, and I acknowledge them, and I appreciate what she brought to the table. But I feel, honestly, I must be honest, firstly, being a mom has become my superpower. So back when people would be frowning at, oh, she's just a mom, you know, just that saying, she's just a mom, I have turned it into my catchphrase, my super woman catchphrase. Yes, I am just a mom. But me being just a mom has allowed me to create the space that I've created with my nonprofit organization, that has allowed me to, and it's something that I'm learning to give myself praise and thanks for, a pat on the shoulder that, wow, firstly, starting a nonprofit organization while I had a very small, very sick child is a feat in itself. And then being able to carry on that nonprofit organization for as many years as I have through the ups and downs and challenges of life has been an amazing feat as well. And so I feel like I'm walking into my boss mom era. Um, and I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited for the evolution of Tasman and where God is leading me to be, because He's at the center of it all, guys. I know that my faith is something that I don't talk about as loudly as I should. It's something that I'm learning to do. But I never doubt that He walks before me, that He leads me in all my decisions that I make, and that I trust Him. Our family, our love, our life is built on His foundation and um, His word and His promises. That's one thing. I thank God for a godly man, and I thank God for everything that He has brought to us. And I know that moving forward, things are going to be so great. And I'm so looking forward to expanding this community, guys. It's taken a while. I didn't think that I would be on such a long hiatus when it came to the podcast. But like I've said in previous recordings, I didn't ever want the podcast to feel like work and another something that I had to do. I wanted it to be a community of parents just talking and talking our truths. You know what I'm saying? And providing a platform for other people to share their stories. That's what life, love, everything is about. It's about life, love, and everything in between. And yes, we are going to show up for each other. We're going to grow together. We're going to laugh together. And I'm sure we're going to cry together because, as brilliant as things and optimistic as things are sounding, real life lives and it happens. And so we're going to be, as always, authentic and transparent about where we are in life and what is going on in life. But I'm looking forward to us growing and expanding. And yes, thank you for the patience, guys. I love you all. Don't forget to like, share, and follow. Oh, and hopefully by the time this episode airs, we would have been able to put our podcast across all the platforms so you can find us anywhere. But I'm still working on that. Your girl is technologically challenged. But thank you for joining me today. And I'll see you again on the next episode. It's your host, Tasmin Bota, and you've been listening to the Life, Love, Everything podcast.